Hi, my name is Mark Platten. I am interviewing Sam Arnold out toward the 11-mile area, and we are on his ranch, Bar 40 Ranch here. Sam, can you tell me a little bit about your property? What elevation are you at here, and how long have you been out here?
Well, we've been out here probably close to 35, 37 years full time. We're at run from 9,000 feet probably down to about 8,800 feet, just the natural slope of the terrain. We're nestled almost in the shadow of 39 Mile Mountain and Saddle Mountain, and we have views of 11 Mile Reservoir. So it's 40 acres that we started with many years ago, and we've gradually developed it into a fun place.
Excellent. And a fun place we're going to show you here, including a lot of different gardening options and also some of the floral options or some of the herbs and stuff like that if you're interested in that. So we're going to start here, Sam. We're going to look at this greenhouse we've got here.
This was one of our first greenhouses. It's probably third generation. We started with the hoop frame PVC greenhouse, and as we evolved over time and as it deteriorated over time, we decided to make a more permanent structure using the 2x4s and the I don't even remember what they called the Lexan panels. So this is our primary veggie greenhouse. We've got 2 or 3 varieties of lettuce. We've got peppers, cauliflower, cucumbers, six different varieties of tomato. We got kale. All items that we've come across in various catalogs over the years. This is a miner's lettuce, which you don't find in the traditional stores. It was a catalog item, but it's a real interesting lettuce and quite tasty. We've got bell peppers going this year. The columbines have invaded the garden a little bit, but we let them go because we tried for years to grow columbines and couldn't do it, and now they're a weed. We've got some asparagus back here in the back. We've got some melons that I probably won't. They're short season melons. I don't know if they're going to make it this year or not. Carrots, I think I mentioned. But just this is, like I said, the primary veggie garden. You get creative when you have tomatoes using different rods. Most of these are closet rods or that you can get for expanding your closet. And so we just incorporated those into climbing trellises for the peas or the tomatoes or whatever needs to climb. We've got a solid wall on the back, which is a heat sink.
And what direction is that?
That's north.
North. So, yep. So the heat sink meaning from the south, when the sun is coming in from the winter months from the south, you'll heat against that back wall. So he's got the bottles in there. So again, it doesn't have to be ugly. We're going to see how creative Sam has been and Barb have been developing their property over the last, they're almost 40 years, I guess, with this. And I'm going to give you some great ideas on what is possible in as far as not just producing vegetables, but doing and beauty, just creating beauty in the landscape here. So
When we went down, we went down to the salvage yard and just bought windows, framed those in so that we had 4 corners of wind ventilation, so that we can get whichever one, to keep the greenhouse manageable. We also put this shade cloth on this one. I think is a 70% shade cloth.
so talk to me about shade. What is shade cloth, Sam? What does it do?
Well, it's this greenhouse because it has the PVC film and stuff. Would get up to 100, 120 degrees even early in the season. We'll end up putting the shade cloth on probably mid to late April because the temperature in here gets pretty intense. I like to leave it off long enough to get the soil warmed up to try and help the veggies get a start. Some years, we put the cloth on too soon, the veggies don't do so well. So it's a roll of the dice. I told Mark earlier that I said we had a freeze in here July 1st of this year. So you never know what you're going to get. Our normal last freeze dates, middle of June. This year caught us by surprise a little bit, but we were not totally surprised. We've been here so long that you just roll with the flow.
Yeah, that's a great point there. And what some people don't know about greenhouses, because you think you just build a greenhouse and you want as much heat as possible, but if you get too warm, so a little bit above 90 degrees, between 90 and 93 or 4 degrees is where the actual, if you've got tomatoes, which a lot of people love to have, the tomatoes will start aborting their flowers because it gets too warm. And that's the temperature at the at the tomato level themselves with that. So not the temperature at the top of the ceiling, but you do need to cool the greenhouses down, and we can do that with vents or with shade cloth will help do that. And we'll see some of the venting on some of the other greenhouses that Sam has here. So this is our phase one, our step one of this. Let's step outside, Sam, unless you've got anything else you want to share about in here.
The only other thing I might mention is that we have the regular plastic liner to give us a little bit of dead air space between the outside PVC and which helps in the springtime. We're not trying to garden in here year round. If we get a 6-month season, we're feeling pretty fortunate.
So you've got this. So this is like a corrugated plastic cover on the outside,
Right.
so thin. So it's a rigid, but it's not like a polycarb, which has a dual layer with space in between it and all that. So you're creating your own airspace. Looks like
This plastic was basically on the hoop greenhouse, and we just repurposed it and said, well, let's just line this and create. It gives us about a 3-inch dead air space in here.
And what is that, like about a 3 or 4 mil plastic you've got there?
Yeah, I think this is probably a 6.
Oh, 6. Okay, so the higher the mill, the heavier, the thicker the plastic. So he's got a 6 mil.
And the longer it's going to last.
As long as,
Even a
especially if it's UV coated, would be best.
Yeah, even a 6 mil plastic at this elevation, if you get 3 years out of it, you're really stretching it.
Yep. Well, perfect. Let's step outside and see what else you got going on nearby here. Let's go ahead and step on this side here, Sam. Tell me what you got going here.
Okay, down the side of the greenhouse, because we get some nice warm temperatures and we get some nice rain runoff. This whole bed down the side is potatoes, a variety of potatoes that we generously got from CSU.
So yeah, props to CSU. Good job.
And there's more potatoes in here.
And we've got looks like a
This is a compost
compost
pile.
bed here. Mm-hmm.
We've anything that grass clippings, whatever we can get our hands on. We have a gal in Colorado Springs who gives us her leaves every year, and we get anywhere from 30 to 60 bags of leaves, which we grind up as best we can, incorporate into the compost pile. We've also used some horse manure that we get that's aged. You don't want to get anything that's hasn't been aged for probably 3 or 4 years at minimum. And then I've got neighbors that have llamas, and so I get some of their aged llama residue.
Sure, residue. I like that. So a couple of things about as far as getting leaves, grass, and even manure from animals is that the grass, you have to be careful, make sure that people didn't treat it. They didn't spray with herbicide or something like that.
All the grasses that we get off our own property, and we use no chemicals.
Perfect.
We use no chemicals in any of our gardens other than natural fish fertilizer or something that is organic.
Sure.
None of the commercial brands.
Perfect. So I just want to throw that out there because people may know some folks down in the Springs or Canyon City or something like that who have yards and they get their grass clippings. You want to wait until if they've treated their yards to kill off some of their broadleaf weeds. And you bring that grass back up here and you put it on your plants. We've had plenty of people who call and say, my leaves are curling, all these kind of problems are happening with my plants. What's going on? It's like, that's herbicide residue. So, and the other thing is with the horse manure in particular, even if it's aged, because the way that food moves through horses' systems, the weed seeds remain. So you want to kind of maybe pay attention to what kind of quality feed that the people you're getting manure from are feeding, because you can end up with a lot of weed seed from that as well. So perfect. What else we have going? So we got the potatoes here, Sam. What else do we have in this?
We built a little outdoor garden just to put some outdoor plants in. We've got our primary product in here is peas. I think we're growing snap peas this year, and we've got the trellises going, and we've got everything fenced to keep the deer from browsing it down to nothing. I'll end up having to probably freeze some of the peas because even this little small section will produce so much inventory that it's like it overwhelms you.
So you'll see that consistently around here, even though there's lots of beauty incorporated here. Sam's being realistic or Sam and Barb are being realistic that they have to fence out the deer because otherwise it's a total buffet for them, and nobody will get any food except for the deer. So this is phase one of the garden. So this is as much, I hope this is giving you some ideas of what's possible here. Again, we're at 9,000 feet here, or approximately 9,000 feet, and Sam's growing some pretty great things here. Again, using some artistic ideas with it to kind of make things beautiful, but we haven't even begun the beauty end of things yet. So stand by. We're going to go to phase number 2 on our next video portion here.